My name is Alex Salazar. I'm a former Los Angeles police officer. I now work as a private investigator, and this is something that didn't obviously happen overnight. It's kind of like a long story here, but here I am in the state of Texas, in the city of Arlington. Here hooked up tonight with a fine cadre, a group that's caught national attention for them exercising their constitutional rights to carry their weapons and also to film and videotape the police. In a day where right now so many things are going on with police brutality being a topic on everybody's mind, I'm proud to be with these individuals here who are pushing this issue to the edge, to talk about things that haven't been dealt with in modern day society. So happy to be here with these guys.
Now you got a unique perspective being on the inside of what's considered one of the most corrupt police departments in the country. Now, were you outspoken? Did you see any corruption while you were on the inside?
Most definitely I did see it, and I was also a part of it, and also a participant of being part of the system at one time in my life. It's a moment where I'm not proud to talk about it, but I talk about it because I believe that there is a atonement that needs to be done by people to recognize and to deal with societal issues that isn't just on one person, okay, but rather a issue that is systemic and that's been going around for a long time. And so for me, I did witness acts of police brutality. I also participated in it, and so I stand here naked in my own truth of what I know, what I saw, and hopefully not to be demonized, but to discuss an issue that right now is a topic of great conversation within our country.
So obviously you're not from Dallas, but you've been traveling the country. What are you doing now? What is your activism?
My activism right now is to get police officers from all over the country to talk about the brutality that's going on. It's about talking about institutional racism that does exist, that doesn't just affect white officers, but also black, Latino, Asian, whatever. When you're taught to be a certain way and you're trained to be a certain way, you become these individuals that you don't ever think that you're going to become this person.
Right.
Here standing, I was just talking with someone about the American sniper individual, a person who, like myself, was also in the military, that went in to serve our country for honorable intentions, yet came out this so-called monster killing machine that became desensitized. Today, many of our police officers are in that problem because they're former military, and I've seen this unfortunately from a unique perspective of being a private investigator that investigates cases involving police killings and shootings of unarmed individuals. And I also speak, of course, with my previous experience as a Los Angeles police officer.
So where do we go from here? How do we curb the corruption and the abuse that we're seeing today?
Well, what we need to do is we need to acknowledge it, that it does occur. There seems to be a fear of denial. There's a lot of ignorance that's going on. People are afraid. It's very similar to a father who molests their children. Everybody stays quiet until something brings out what's really going on, and then people are stigmatized, people are shamed, and so what we're seeing is a lot of law enforcement's dark, dirty little secrets coming out, and they're right here, like with this technology where I'm being filmed right now. We have the power of the internet. We have people now united for us to get together and not be afraid, because before, when people would get together, they would be targeted. And in many cases, they would be followed, and then they would be executed. All right, and so this is a very unique time period that we're living in. That we have this liberty. Watching Kenny and Corey and these gentlemen here, carrying their weapons and not in an act of defiance, but in an act of being, what it is to be an American. Okay, and not to be treated like a rogue human being. But I guarantee you, you see a black person out here, what's going to happen? You know, this is the crazy thing that we're dealing with here is this issue of race. And so we need to talk about the race, I believe, in a way that is sane, a way that we don't, start attacking people, because that's usually what happens. But, you know, what I'm seeing here, again, you know, from my humble little platform as an investigator, there's been no accountability for the police. We're just barely seeing now, like what we saw here happen quickly in South Carolina, the arrest of this officer who, you know, had planted this taser on this individual and you know, who thought he had gotten away with this. How many other cases get away like that every single day? How many of us know people who are in jail or prison right now for crimes that they didn't do? I mean, we know that. I have cases right now where, you know, I'm just unbelievable that these people are behind bars once you start seeing the true facts and the reality. And the problem, I think, is that most people don't care, too. You know, that's the sad part, is that there's this apathy, there's this way of thinking that, you know, it's not happening to me, so why should I be worried about it?
Exactly.
And of course, many of these people become activists because they've been messed with, they've been screwed with, they've been fucked with. And so, you know, that's why I'm here. I'm here hoping to bring dialogue. I don't want to go against the United States government. I don't want to go against the police or anything like that. But what we need to have is a solid discussion, you know, of honesty, transparency, and most of all, just you know, talking about it.
So, if someone wanted to get in touch with you and read more about you, how would they go about finding you?
Well, I'm part of a nationwide group now that calls for you know, whistleblower protection for police officers. Currently, the way the system stands is a good police officer cannot come out and talk about the corruption that they see. There are numerous documented cases that go all the way back to Frank Serpico of the NYPD, where, you know, he tried to talk about the corruption that was going on, and of course his partners tried to kill him. They didn't respond to the backup, and they put him in a situation that, you know, no one was there at the time. And so, you know, I operate a website that's called renegadepopo.com, and that's there to, you know, for police officers also that are suffering from PTSD. And it also talks about the culture of the code of silence. Code of silence is something that's really, really big that needs to be discussed with in law enforcement. That is what keeps everything under wraps. This is the environment where shootings are swept under the rug. This is where, you know, all the massive cover-ups come. This is why people right now do not trust the police. And we need to get back, you know, to those basics of being a human being, respecting human lives, and you know, I'm hoping that, you know, by us getting together like this, even on a rainy night, you know, here in Arlington, Texas, that we can, you know, find that, you know, connection to keep on going and doing what we're doing.
Absolutely.